Hey everybody! So today we're going to take a look at something that I just recently found out about, and I'm really glad I did. So I found this on the heels of the video I did for the Star Trek Catspaw prop. That was the Enterprise encased in acrylic. If you haven't seen that video, it's the prop that you see in the Star Trek, the classic episode Catspaw. Now at the very end of that episode, and I'll show you some clips from the episode, there's these aliens at the end. So let's take a look at them so that we can get an idea of what these are before we even start. Okay, so at the very end of the episode, this is what they look like. Korob and Sylvia, their actual identities. So they're these little creatures that don't look anything like human, but in the episode, they were portraying themselves as humans. So these things are really cool. You can kind of see how they look here. They have a very brief screen time here. It's very brief. And you can hear that weird noise that they make. I think they used baby alligators for that. Baby alligators make that kind of a sound. And here they are again. You can kind of see how they move. Now, this episode has the special effects kind of reconfigured and updated. On the Blu-ray, you can watch it with the original special effects, or you can have the new ones. Now, in this scene, when these two creatures die off, you can see the strings that were operating them. They were like little marionettes, and they were really obvious. You could see them really badly. But on the Blu-rays, they managed to erase them out. So as they're dying here at the very end, you could really see them right at this point. They would sag. Now, they didn't quite erase them out over in this area. And this area, I was talking about that during my other video with the cat's paw prop. And they couldn't quite erase them out of there, probably because of the texture going on here. But you can see how they die. Now, see how they got these weird looking tails? They almost look like they're like pieces of like a crab or something. They got those really weird floppy looking, like I don't know, tentacles or something on the front. They got these weird looking brain things and stuff like that. I wish the color was a little bit better on camera here because they look much more vivid in person. These have much more of an orange color to them, but you can see how they're dying off here. It's kind of weird. They're really weird looking. And at the end here, they just kind of die, and they're kind of like having this mist is starting to come off of them. And here you can see more of that mist coming off of them. And at the very end, they're almost not recognizable except for their weird looking tails. So it's weird. They must have made like they must have just put a hodgepodge of materials together to make them look the way they did. Looking back at this scene, so now you can kind of really see that kind of crab tail or shrimp tail or whatever that is. It looks like their arms are also made out of like crabs or something. And then their bodies have this weird kind of like a fuzzy material here. And then they got those weird tentacles that kind of bounce around, if we can move it a little bit. See how they kind of bounce around? And then it's almost like their eyes are made of like these weird flowers, or almost like plastic flowers or something. I'm guessing the prop guys just grabbed whatever was handy and just slapped everything together. But they look kind of cool considering, the budget of this show. All right, so now let's take a look at this. So this is from a company called SD Studios. I believe the gentleman that started this company was originally part of Master Replicas. I think a couple of other guys from Master Replicas, they went on to do Factory Entertainment, and Factory Entertainment is the one who makes the Enterprise encased in acrylic prop that I showed you. So, and I'll show you along with this thing. Now, these are the aliens, Korob and Sylvia. These are the two aliens that we see at the end of that episode that I just got done showing you. Now, it's a little diorama of this, and from what I saw, this is very accurate. Okay, so let me see here. Now, I already cut the tape. Oh, right here, right off. Oh, this is awesome. Wow. Ooh, these are gooey too. Okay, let me see if I can get closer to the camera. Now, I'm not sure which one is Korob and Sylvia. Wow, this is really, really nice looking. I'll get some better close-ups of this. Wow, this is their creepy looking head. Look at even these things are jiggly like they were in the episode. Wow. Okay, that is amazing. And I can see another one here. So this is the other one. Look at that. Am I in camera here? Oh, this is awesome. So it's really neat. These are kind of like these rubbery looking things. I'll take them out of the bag here in just a minute so we can see it. I'm going to assemble it. You can see it goes right in here. There's a little post that we're going to put in there. All right, let's see what else we got. There is, ew, look at this. This is their creepy looking tails. Wow, this is nice. This is really, really nice. This looks like it's made of resin or something. There's a little pin. So it's going to go into the main body, I'm guessing. Wow, that's creepy looking. In the movie, or in the show, I don't know what they used. I think they just had somebody's crab dinner and took pieces of it to use for the prop. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Oh, now this is nice. Catspaw, Sylvia, and Korob. I'm sorry, I'm doing this upside down, so I can't figure out where I'm at. Star date, what is that? 3018.2. That's probably accurate to the episode. So it's a nice metal plate that's going to go on this. Oh, that's very nice. On the diorama. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. Okay, this looks like the other tail. There's the other creepy looking tail. Oh, that's neat. I can't tell what this is made of. It's probably resin or something. Really nice paint job on this, too. That is creepy. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this looks like... I want to be careful the way I take this out because I'm not sure how this is all packed. Take some of these out here. Ooh, this is the main body. Wow, look at this. Here's the legs. They got posts on them, so they're going to insert into the base. Wow. I can't wait to take these out of the bag and look at them. This is like a real fur material like they had on the figures. That's where the head goes in. A little bit of weight to it. I'm not sure what these are made of. Guess we'll find out. So that's one or the other. It was never specified in the episode who was who. They were only on screen for a short time. Oh, this is nice. Here's the other one. And if you look at their feet, they look like they're made of some just random little pom-pom pieces. I mean, whoever had to make the prop, you know, the show was very low budget, so they had to just come up with whatever they could. That looks like a crab claw, too. That is very, very cool. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get some more of this out. The rest of this is probably the main base. Let's see if I can get in here, pull it out. Okay. Well, we're not going to be able to see much with this. So I got to take all the parts out. But this is the grass or the ground that we saw them standing on. This is going to be very nice. I'm going to have to see if I can find a... ooh, there's some stuff here. Oh, well, let's take a look at this once I get them all out of the bubble wrap. All right, so let's take a look at this base. Now, this is a really nice base for this thing. This is a metal frame, and it's got some heft to it. Now, this whole dirt area just kind of inserts into this. I didn't know if it was supposed to be glued in or not. I almost dropped it, so it's not actually attached to the inside. It just kind of drops in there. But I want you to see the little red kind of like glitter stuff going on in there. I don't know if you can see it, but it is very, very cool. If I can focus on it. It looks very alien-like. You know, Star Trek used a lot of glitter on their rocks and dirt and stuff, and it has this kind of purplish hue. It's very, very cool. Now you can see there's holes right here. That's where one of the creatures is going to fit, and then there's the other two holes there. So we'll take some look at some of the pieces that make up the alien. Okay, so here are the tail pieces. So these are very cool. I think they're made of like a resin material. And they're painted very nice. They kind of have that yellowish, orange kind of color to it. You can see these little weird pieces here. These are probably very fragile, so you have to be very careful with those. That's the pin that inserts into the body. So you get one for each creature, Korob and Sylvia. But these are really neat looking. I really like those. They're kind of creepy. Now here is their bodies. These are great. So here, we'll just take a look at one. But they got this really cool fur-like material. So I had to kind of floof it up a little bit because the baggie had kind of smushed it down. But this is very nice. It's got some weight to it. It's hard, so it feels like maybe there's a solid resin core on the inside. This looks really neat. It looks like another piece of a crab right there. You can see the kind of weird looking thing there. I mean, these look just like the actual creatures. It's pretty insane how accurate these are. Look at the legs. They almost look insect-like. And they're going to clip in with these holes here. This is all handmade. I mean, it probably takes a lot of time for them to make all this. Here's the other one. Looks exactly the same. But yeah, very cool. The arms, they're not posable. Well, this one turns a little bit. Actually, you can turn these. All right, well, you can turn them. I didn't know that. They don't go outward, though, but that's fine. I'm surprised they turn. I was not expecting any kind of, that's cool, articulation with these at all. Okay, well, that's pretty neat. I was scared to move them. All right, very cool. Let's take a look at the heads. All right, now I absolutely love the heads of these things because they are really creepy. I love this kind of thing. I mean, this is exactly how they looked in that clip. You could see how those are kind of jiggling around. So it's kind of like a rubber material. You can see the inside of it. And it looks like they probably use like those little flower pieces to make their eyes and stuff. Like I said, the prop guys, they had to just kind of come up with this stuff, just on the fly. I don't know what they used to make the originals. Unfortunately, I don't think they survived either. Look at this cool iridescent blue that they put in here. It's like a bluish green going on in there. That looks really, really awesome. This is all one piece. It's one piece when you get it. It was probably several pieces. And this kind of reminds me of a Lost in Space episode right there. But it's very cool. They look they kind of look insectoid and yet kind of a crustacean and like octopus or something. They're kind of a mix of everything. But whoever invented these creatures for that episode, boy, they did a really cool job coming up with these. Also, you can bend these to, make them look like they're looking whichever way you want. So very neat. All right, well, let me get everything all put together and we'll see what it looks like when it's all done. All right, here they are all together. Oh my goodness. Look at these things. They look so good. These look so amazing. I mean, these are fantastic. I would never have expected anybody to make such accurate looking Korob and Sylvia pieces. These things, I remember when I first saw that episode with me and my brother were watching it when we were kids and we're like, ew, when they first showed what they look like at the end. And they made that weird noise. It was like I think, like I mentioned, it's like a baby alligator makes that kind of sound. I'm guessing that's where they recorded it from. But I think their tails are what really make them look kind of creepy because they look like some kind of a weird crustacean type of creature with their arms and their tails. And yet they look kind of bird-like with these feathery looking things here. And then what's going on with that? It's like, what, what are those? And I just love these things here. It's just like the originals. They have that kind of weird rubbery looking thing. I wonder what the originals were made of. It would be fascinating to know, what happened to them and where they are. I wonder if they, when they show them, kind of melting away, I wonder if they were destroyed during that scene. But that mist coming up off of them, it looked more like dry ice. So I don't know if they just destroyed them for that scene or what. Especially in the very last scene. But they're not on screen for very long, so you don't really get a chance to look at them too good. But with the whole ground looking like it did in that scene, I mean, these look fantastic. I mean, these are spot on to the original. SD Studios did an incredible job on these things. And, I've been, after doing the video for that Catspaw Enterprise and acrylic that I did, a couple of videos ago, what was it? Factory Entertainment made those beautiful pieces. I thought, man, I would love to make a couple of these characters. And I was trying to think of how to do it, but, trying to figure out how you would do something like that, especially something like this. I mean, how do you make that, but obviously, the SD Studios people knew how to do it right. This thing looks so good. Now, I will say, well, let me get some close-ups and I'll talk about some other parts of this. Okay, so we have the nice metal plate that goes on the front here. Now, there's no double stick tape on here or anything like that. And maybe they did it because you can decide if you want to use it or not. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this on here or not, but it'll go on the front like that. Maybe I'll just put some double stick tape on it. It does look cool. I mean, it presents itself nicely as a display. So I haven't decided if I'm going to put it on there or not, but I do like it. So it's good that they give you that. Okay, so their feet go in those holes down in there, and you have to kind of spread the legs out a little bit to make sure you've got them in place and just kind of push them down. And those legs are solid enough to hold them up, even though there's a little bit of weight to their bodies. But here you can really see the way they look. I love that weird, they look almost insect-like or something. They're a cross between insects, birds, and a crustacean. I think that's why it throws you off a little bit looking at them, because they're just so weird. They're just so weird looking. I got to give the prop guys credit for coming up with those creatures. I mean, they really were kind of weird looking. And then that sound made them even more creepy. This is so awesome. I love that you can position the arms. Now they're a little bit, a little bit wobbly on here. I may end up gluing them in, but I'm not sure if I have to transport them or something like that. And the tails, I got to tell you, these tails were really hard to put on. One of them went in within about maybe 20 seconds, but the other one, whichever one it was, I could not find that dang hole, because with that fur in there, you can't see where that pin on the end of the tails go in. And I must have spent like 20 to 30 minutes trying to get it in there. I almost gave up and decided to drill my own hole, and then all of a sudden I just happened to find where it was. So that was a little bit challenging. I probably should glue the tails in just to make sure they stay in there, because I sure don't want to try to go through that again. I like how they rest up against the ground. It helps support them. But yeah, I mean, these are so cool. Oh my gosh, these are so cool. Now, when I was talking to the gentleman at SD Studios, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry that I forgot what his name is, but he said they only had enough materials to make 2 more of these, and this was one of them. And then he said he's not really sure that he's going to make any more of them, because he said they're very labor intensive, which I believe. I mean, look at all the stuff that went into making this. So he said he's not really sure that he wants to make any more of these. But maybe you can entice him if you want one of these. Maybe you can entice him to build some for you. Now, I will tell you they were $250, which, quite frankly, I don't think is too bad for this, considering how much craftsmanship went into this. Yeah. So, I mean, they're really beautiful. These are, I mean, if they could be beautiful, but they are very, very cool looking. So I'll put a link in the description of this video if you want to check out SD Studios. I noticed on their website they don't have these listed on there, possibly because they're thinking about discontinuing them. But maybe you can entice them to build you a set of these if they are so inclined. And maybe if they get enough requests for them, maybe they'll come back to making them. But yeah, I'm sure these were really difficult to make, because I mean, they have to mold a lot of this stuff. I don't know if any of this was 3D printed. It doesn't look like it. These look like they're resin, just like cast resin or something, and some plastic and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm sure these take a lot of time just to make just one, but well worth the price, in my opinion, if you're a fan of Star Trek. I love these more obscure props and collectibles. That's what I like. I like these kind of things more than just your standard other stuff. But this is really cool. Now, all I got to do is get a case for it. So I'll probably go through Kingdom Brick Supply, because I've shown their cases before on this channel. They make really nice cases. So I'll just send them the measurements to this, and then they usually send me a link to which one to get, and then I can put it in a case, because I can't imagine trying to dust this thing. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I must say these are really cool. I'm very, very impressed with it. So if you want a set of these, go ask SD Studios if they can make any more for you. But just be on notification that they may not make them anymore. I would hate to see that, because these are so beautiful. And I just found out about them. I don't even know how long they've been making them. All right. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I very much appreciate it. And until the next time, I will see you on the next video. So thank you again, and have a good one.